Alright guys, tutorial app development here. Hope everyone is doing well. We're going to be going over variables today inside Android Studio. Now, what are variables? Variables make our life so much easier, and it allows us to give a value to something we decide, a name, and basically make that name equal to something. So we can add the name to specific parameters and then change the name instead of going down and being like height 110, this height 15, like going through it all. We can change them all in one go by giving this variable a new value. So we'll go here, and the problem we've got here, we've got a column with buttons, and it's basically going off the screen because the buttons are too big, the height's too much. How do we change that? We need to change the height of every single one of them. Now, if you wanted to do this, you'd go height, change it for one, change it for the next, change it for the other. That would get annoying, especially if we're adding more buttons. You'd have to change and fix it and remember what that old height was, and it would just be a nightmare. So instead, we're going to make a variable. We're going to go here, we're going to box height. Once we've put this in, it's going to be like, well, what is this? You've not said this is anything. You've just given it a name. Height is now box height. All right, well, that doesn't mean anything. So we're going to go into our build here. So widget build context, and we're going to add this box height. We're going to make it a double, so we put the double first. What is a double, you might be asking? A double is an integer that is not this, confined to one integer, so it can be 1.2, 2.4, 5.3, more precise. Whereas if we did, integer, it would just be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and blah blah blah. But we give it this double. We say box height. So now we're giving box height basically what this is, double box height, and we stop there. This is fine and good. We have a double named box height, but we'll continue to get this error, which is like still non-null. It must be assigned, so we've not given it anything. We've just said double box height. Okay, it's a box height and it's a double, and that's all we've given it. Computer's like, that doesn't work. We need to give it a value. So to assign a value, let's say we wanted this double box height to equal 20. We now have made this box here 20 height. What's the point of this? We could have just put this and set it in the height, right? We could just put it there. Problem is now, well, the problem or solution is we can go box height for all of them, and what this is going to do, going to give our variable a name. It's going to basically say this is the box height of all these boxes, and we don't need to put them in individually and waste forever with it. We now have a specific variable that will now save, add the height to every single one of them. Now that seems simple, seems easy, but what we're doing is we're giving the box height, a value, and applying it to all of them with this name. Now let's say we wanted a double of box width, and we want it to equal 20. So now, or let's say we want it to be the entire screen, so double dot infinity. If you want something to be the entire screen, it will always be double dot infinity. Now we've still not used this, so we get the opposite problem. The value isn't used, we're not putting it anywhere. So how would we fix that? You guessed it, putting it somewhere. So now we go to box height, and we replace the width of all these boxes to box width, and we save, and now they are now the whole screen, and they're in a column, and they fit. If you wanted to change all of them now, we now have complete control over them. So we can do, so we want this to be 34, got more height. We want this to be maybe a bit smaller. We bring it into 250. Now I like them where they are, and well, let's say these will have this a bit bigger. So this is a bit bigger, but now our text, as we can see, is squashed. So we're going to use the exact same method here and change the text so it's no longer squashed. So this font size we have given in the text style, we will change it to size font. Easy enough. Now we need to define this, so we'll take this, we will go again here, and we will go double size font equals 16. 16 is a nice number. It won't change immediately. Now the reason this won't change is because it is a constant value, so we need to delete the constant here and it will change. Now this fits perfectly. We can then use this variable, which is equal to what we give up here, 16. So now we're basically giving 16 to all the font sizes. And we can change all now with the help of our variable. Well, now we have complete control over the height, the width, and also the size of the font. We want 18, we're a bit bigger. All of them change. We want the box height to be slightly smaller. We can now do 30. And we now have more control over the variables. We have complete control, actually. We control all of them at once. So that should hopefully help you guys out with variables. Now, there are many variables. I would suggest you look them up. They will basically give the same value or the value you set it. So for here, double. We could put this as an int, but it would be a bit less control over it, but it wouldn't really matter. Oh, right, well, it will be a problem because height requires a double, so scratch what I just said, but we could use, this for things like strings. We could use it for bools, true or false, and basically implement more control over our app, more accessibility, and just make it easier for people to understand also. And thank you guys very much for watching. Hopefully that was, as easy as I could make it with variables. They are quite simple once you get your head around it. Starting out, obviously things can be difficult, but subscribe, like, share, all that good stuff for more content like this, which will hopefully help you out on your coding journey. And thank you very much for watching, guys. Take care, much love, and see you in the next one I do. Peace.